Preparing to stream live. Let's see. And of course, we're going to be about 30 seconds ahead of the stream. So, oh, I think we are live.
Hello.
Yay.
Hello.
Hi.
All righty. Well, we're live and digital, I think. Let me do some checking here online. Do we
need to like put out a link for everyone?
Gosh, that's a good question.
Did someone post to the NoSleep podcast group?
Yes, Alex did that.
Awesome.
Now, I thought if you just went to our channel, it would show up, but maybe not.
There you go. Right.
But if anyone's out there, as I say, it's going to take a little while.
Channel to try to see. I don't see anything on the channel.
Yeah, I don't see anything yet that says we're live.
Are you sure you're not streaming to your channel?
No, it is. I'm seeing it on my computer, and I'm showing the NoSleep podcast.
Okay.
And we are live. So
maybe we just have to wait till it pops up.
Wow, yeah, I'm watching this subscriber number tick up even as I sit on the page.
Well, if people are eventually going to be watching this, bear with us while we confirm and all that kind of stuff. Let me, I can copy this. I can start putting this out on, oops. I'll put it out on Twitter.
Let me get them retweets.
Yeah. Guess we could have started this before 6 o'clock to get ready.
Saw a tiger. Tiger saw a man. All I have in my head all day long is tiger saw a man.
The dude's got some hits.
Apparently that's not him though.
It can't be, right? I keep thinking to myself, that guy's got, that voice is too good.
He stole, he got a bunch of guys, Nashville guys or something to sing, and he covered it up.
That's so upsetting.
Yes.
What a fraud.
Yep.
I do see the stream on the YouTube page now, I think.
Wow.
Come up?
The link worked.
Oh,
Well, the link
worked.
did.
Good. All righty.
Still nothing on the channel though. What is the deal?
Yeah, that's kind of weird. I thought it would just sort of come up on the old channel. So if
on the link it says the NoSleep podcast only has 1 subscriber. Other channel it says we have 504.
No, it just said it can't.
Now it's yeah, it's like a different channel. The other one, the one that you have the link to, doesn't have your introduction video attached to it.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know what's going on with our channel because it seems to change all the time. I don't know why it does that. I probably messed something up. I'm an old man. So, so that's there. I'm gonna close this. So is anyone joining? Okay, we've got some people there. Hello, Ashley. Oh, there's Atticus Jackson. Don't know why he's on there, but
oh, he's weird.
I don't trust him.
Maybe we should put it on Facebook since it has the other link.
Oh, that's right. The Facebook goes to the 500 subscriber page.
And this is a different page, is it? I don't understand because it does say the NoSleep podcast.
Tricky.
So let's just report this channel, get it taken down.
Yeah. Well, hello there. Nicole looks so good. No, my name's David. You've misspelled.
Yeah, this other
Thank
channel,
you, whoever said that.
Other
Bless
channel
you.
seems to be hopping.
Yeah, I'm.
How do I see chat?
Now, David, can you see the other channel, or is it a weird thing where you can see 2 channels, or?
I'm only seeing I'm seeing the live stream with people chatting, but yeah, I am seeing 3 subscribers to the actual channel. So I don't know what's going on, people.
Is it going to mess up if you click on the link I just sent you? Will that screw something up with what you've already got going? Do you see the group chat channel?
No, let me.
Do you see the chat along the bottom there? If you click on that, you'll see.
There we go. Okay.
In
Yes.
Zoom, right?
And that is, if for what it's worth, that's the direct link to the page that has the 520 subscribers.
Interesting.
And I'm wondering what you see if you click through there, or if it'll mess up what you've already got going.
Yeah, I click through and I don't see anything. So yeah, there's some weird URL thing, but we are going to persevere. And it looks like we've got some people on. And so if you find our links on Twitter and Facebook, and a lot of people here, and ultimately we're going to upload this afterwards. So we're not going to hang around here. I see Gemma Amore is already being cheeky and falling asleep. So
that means
I love Gemma.
Everyone loves Gemma.
I mean, she seems okay.
She's great.
All right. Okay. Now I am going to close this and this. I'm going to do this and
find your feed.
Whoop, now what happened? Oh, good gracious. What's going on here? Again, thank you, everybody, for your patience as we get set up here, get our technical stuff taken care of. So I think we are ready to go, even though God knows what's going on with the feeds, but there are people watching. So all we can do is be joyful for that. I'm going to try this one more time. Look over here.
I'm going to put the new link into
go.
That doesn't work.
This is just marvelous.
There we go. I added the updated link to the.
Let's get scary.
Okay. Well, look, folks, I think we're going to do everything we can to make this work. So we got people watching. What else could performers want? So let's get started. Hi, everybody. Welcome to our very first live stream. You never know it's our first live stream, would you? We've got all the kinks worked out. But yeah, welcome to the NoSleep Podcast Live. I'm David Cummings, the host, creator, showrunner, the guy behind this nonsense. And I give you greetings from self-isolation in Toronto, Canada. Doing okay so far. No diseases as of yet. Thank goodness. So I'm doing okay. I would like to introduce to my over here. I think this could be different on people's screens, but beside me from Rochester, New York, the beautiful, the one and the only Nicole Goodnight.
Hi.
Woo!
Woo!
Now, Nicole, I am bragging about being hopefully symptom-free, but we understand some bad news is coming out of Rochester.
Yeah, so New York has got a lot of cases. I might be one. I've been very sick the past few weeks, so I had a lot of lemon to be here today. Slept all day, so we should be good.
We are so thrilled that you are here with us, and
me too, because I can't go anywhere. I'm not allowed to go anywhere.
Yeah, you're doubly confined because of
very sad
symptoms. Yeah, and
don't like it at all.
New York State, of course, New York City is the big one, but
yeah,
up in Western New York, there you're glad you're hanging in there, and I mean, you sound good and you look fine, so
thank you.
That's all that matters.
I tricked you all with makeup, haha.
Well, thank you, and yeah, keep enjoying that tea throughout the performance.
It's gone.
yeah,
it's gone.
Oh my God, her curtains are cats.
Yes, she has cats for curtains. Lovely. Below me, I
beg your pardon.
All right. I better rephrase that.
Right.
There's a BE in there, not.
Oh, there we go.
Below me, it's below me. Is a man all the way down in Texas. Everything's bigger in Texas, and you don't mess with it. So we welcome from the Dallas, Texas area, the one and the only Mr. Atticus Jackson.
Hello.
Atticus, welcome.
Glad to be here.
You are confined down there, of course, I assume.
Yep. Just been sitting around, farting around.
Haven't we all? It's all you can do. It's all you can do. Well, and you're hopefully in some good health down there.
Yeah, doing good so far.
Good. Fingers crossed. So it looks like Nicole might be the only contagious
Brag
one. Now,
about it, why don't you?
Well, us Texans and our immune systems.
Yeah, that's right. You just shoot them viri. And last but certainly not least, joining us from the beautiful, magnificent state of New Jersey, the one and the only Mr. Graham Rowitz.
Hello, friends. We're right beside the epicenter. New Jersey is right next door to Ground Zero.
Yes. Sad but true.
Yeah.
Now, what are we supposed to say about New Jersey? What exit you at?
Oh gosh, that's a good one. We're off 78, 55B, I think.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
My favorite Jersey exit is 7A. I'll just, for anyone who cares, that's the one I like.
No idea what you guys are talking about.
I know, it's crazy. Well, that apparently is New Jersey slang. You talk about what exit you get off the interstate or the turnpike or whatever. So, anywho. Well, folks, thank you. Oh, and I've done this before. I almost did it again. I forgot to introduce one person who is not on screen, and as is his normal state of mind, he's always sort of hidden behind the performers. You can hear him playing his music. He is the infamous maestro, the swoosh, from Cincinnati, Ohio, Mr. Brandon Boone, providing live music. Hello, Brandon.
Hey, everybody.
There he
Just a
is.
disembodied voice. You guys can hear the piano okay?
Yes, it's coming through nice.
Okay. Great.
Very nicely. Well, this is great. So as I said at the start, this is our first attempt at sort of a live stream thing. And believe it or not, I actually was thinking about stuff like this 4 or 5 months ago. I thought we could probably do more video kind of stuff and just connect with you fans this way. And then this weird pandemic came out. So thank goodness. And no, I didn't mean that at all. No, it's now we're kind of sort of forced to do stuff like this in a way. But I am glad that we have this opportunity and the technology. And even though the internet is bursting at the seams and ready to collapse at any moment, as we're told, I'm thankful that Zoom is around to do this kind of technology. So dry cough. Sorry.
What you get. That's what you get for mocking me.
Save it for the show.
Boasting.
I do apologize. I honestly didn't want to start this stream and keep talking about COVID-19 and all that, but I guess it's kind of hard to these days. It's on everyone's mind. So, okay, enough of that nonsense of pandemics. We're going to delve into our story for tonight. And this one is an old-time radio script. It's a show that originated in South Africa back in the 60s. And it's called The Creaking Door. Yes, that's right. Ominous, isn't it? And so we have found a script that they did back in the 60s. Some good things happened in the 60s, like I was born. But we're going to try to emulate this script. And there's some anachronisms in this one for you kids out there. They talk about needing money to use the phone. I mean, what's that all about, right? So ask your grandparents what a payphone was. So we are going to begin, and we hope you enjoy this. So this is a script entitled Alive in the Grave. And I will play your host this evening. And it begins like this. Good evening, friends of the Creaking Door. The creaking door is open, so do come in. Feeling the chill of these spring evenings? Well, wait until you're with us a little. You'll freeze with fear. You see, the cemetery caretaker and the ashen-faced, trembling young man make an odd pair as they stand by an open grave under the pale moon. In the grave itself is a coffin. The lid has been pried open, and inside the corpse of a middle-aged man. The caretaker warns... Oh, I've heard about scumbags like you, read about grave robbers. I never thought I'd come across one. Here, I've sent for the cops, young man. Don't you try any rough stuff. I'm a match for you any day.
But you don't understand. I've tried to save his life, and now it's too late.
Now, don't give me that. This fellow was given a decent Christian burial. You've desecrated his...
Desecrated, you say? Is it desecration to bury a man while he's still alive?
What are you talking about? You don't think people go around being buried alive these days, do you? I don't know what to make of you. I watched you this afternoon. I thought you looked a bit peculiar. I don't know what you were doing at a pauper's burial.
He shouldn't have had a pauper's burial. He shouldn't have had a burial at all. I could have saved him.
You'd better think up a good story. Something told me that you were up to no good. Now, like I said, don't you try any rough stuff. I already warned you. I watched you. The police are on their way. Breaking open a coffin like that. I knew you were up to something, but I never thought you would.
Because I let him get buried alive, and I was ashamed. Let him get buried alive for a measly $50. Now he's dead.
Now, listen, did you come out of the loony bin or something? Now that I get a better look at you, you don't look like no grave robber.
I'm not. Listen.
What's he to you, this fellow we buried today?
Nothing, except I'm responsible for his death. I touched him. He's cold as death.
Well, he's only been in the ground a few hours. They don't stay cold like that. Sometimes we get an exhumation order and we have to dig him up. You'd be surprised how cold they get.
He is dead, isn't he? I brought this mirror with me. There's no breath. Look.
I don't have to look. He's been in the municipal morgue for 2 days. He's given a pauper's burial. Now then, what's this all about, young man? I want to go home. He was dead all right when they buried him.
But not when the ambulance took him to the morgue. You see, I know.
You know? Oh, was he a relative of yours?
I didn't even know he existed until 2 days ago. I've been trapped in the streets looking for work. I didn't want to go home, if you can call that one room Lil and I occupy a home. It was still ringing in my ears, the things she shouted at me as I left there.
I've come to the end of my tether. I've pawned everything. Look, even the wedding ring you slipped on my finger in the church, what did he say? And all thy worldly goods? That's a laugh. You were going to share all your worldly goods, were you? Well, if you don't get some money or a job, I'm walking out on you. Do you hear? I'm walking out on you and I'll go live with my sister. At least I'll get some warmth and 3 square meals a day.
Oh, don't say that, Lil. Was it my fault I fell sick and couldn't work in the factory anymore? I've tried, dear, I really have. Everywhere I go, they look at me and say, no vacancies.
It's not my fault either. I warn you, I cannot take much more of this.
I know, honey, I know. I'll get something today, I promise. It was a promise I couldn't keep. Pounding the pavement, watching the dislike and fear in the eyes of the world as I passed by. Fear that one day they might become like me. And then I saw him. I was coming to Duke's Lane. Nothing on either side except a huge brick wall. He was a short, fat little man. Our steps blurred in the quiet thoroughfare. What was he stopping for? Was he taking caution? Did he think me a gangster or something? I suppose I looked like something that had crawled out of a piece of cheese. Buddy, are you all right? He can't be. He's conked out. There doesn't seem to be any breathing. I wonder who he is. He must have something in his pocket. Damn, look at all this money. Must be $50 here at least. Poor swine. What good is his money now? I'd better call a cop.
Well, if you don't get some money or a job, I'm walking out on you. Do you hear? I'm walking out.
I can still hear Lil's voice in my mind. There's nothing anyone can do for this poor swine. They'll find him soon enough. What does a guy in a case like this do? Beat it, you fool. Beat it with the first decent money you've had in months. Somebody will find him. Run! Lil.
Joe, you got some money.
That's right, Lil. 20, some 10s and 5s. It all adds up very nicely. $50 in all.
Oh, Joe, honey. Hey, how did you get this money? You didn't go and do anything silly, did you?
Just like what? Rob a bank? I wouldn't know where to start.
But how did you get it?
You'll never believe it. Remember I told you when I was in the sanitarium there was this fellow there with the same lung trouble by the name of Ted Brown?
Yes.
Well, I lent him $1.
You lent him $1? Well, I was...
I was still drawing my wages, wasn't I? We didn't know that the doctor wouldn't let me go back to the factory. Wasn't so bad then.
All right. What about this Ted Brown?
Well, I meet him in the street, see? He says he's been looking for me everywhere, wanted to repay me the $1.
Go on.
Well, he goes into a pub to have a drink. There's a bookie there, and Ted says he has a hot tip, 50 to 1. It won, Lil. 50 smackers.
Oh, Joe, 50 smackers. Oh, I love you.
Lil went to get some groceries and a couple bottles of beer. I sat on the bed and had a further look at the wallet. Having taken the money out, I thought it'd be empty. There were 2 pockets, both with plastic windows. The first held a card that said Harold Maxted, 26 Fairley Street. Then I looked at the second plastic window. There were strange words printed on a white card. It said, I am not dead. I am subject to a form of cataleptic illness which may appear to cause death. If I am found, please inform Dr. Alfred Miller, St. Regent's Hospital. No. No, it can't be. Not dead. Cataleptic. What have I done? What have I done? They'll think he's... I must telephone. But Lil, she'll wonder where I've gone. I've given her all my money.
Here, all right, I've got a bit. Take these bottles from me, will you? Joe, what is it?
What time is it, Lil?
I don't know. The bar's just open. I'd say about 6-ish. Why?
Give me $10. Do you have any change? I need some silver. I have to telephone. I won't be long.
What is it?
I just have to telephone someone.
You're not going gambling, are you? You haven't got the bug. You're not betting on tomorrow's races or anything like that, are you, Joe? There are bills to be paid.
I know, love, I know. No, I'm not gambling, but I need it, please. I'll be back in a little while. It's just that. Please, Lil.
All right, here. Joe.
It's all right, love. Would I be too late with the phone call? Would they bury this poor guy without knowing he was cataleptic, thinking he was dead? I've got to call the number of the doctor in the wallet.
Hello?
Can I speak to Dr. Miller, please?
Well, Dr. Miller's gone abroad. He's been away for the past 6 weeks.
Abroad? Oh, no. Have you taken over his practice?
No, I'm not a doctor, but if you need a doctor, there must be plenty.
No, it isn't that. I have to reach him.
Oh, I'm afraid I can't help you. I really must go.
I'm sorry. Thank you. And then another thought seeped into my brain. Underground, a long wooden box and a man being buried alive, and a shovel heaping earth onto the wooden boards. The phone book. There must be a Maxted in there. There was. 14 Maxteds. Everyone alive and bad-tempered.
No, I have no relatives who suffer from a cataleptic illness. Perhaps there are a few other Maxteds in the book. Try them.
I have. You're Mr. Zachariah Maxted. You're the last on the list.
Well, I can't help you.
What now? Do I go along to the police and say, look, I stole a man's wallet. Someone might be shoving him into 6 feet of earth. What do I do? I decided to sleep on it. Sleep. That's a laugh. Buried alive. Love you, Lil. No, buried alive.
They're putting me in a wooden box, and it's your fault, Joe Ailish. I'm struggling for breath. They're going to bury me deep. Not deep enough, Joe. Get me out of this, or I will make you suffer here on earth and in the beyond. Well, well, well. Joe Ailish had better do something about it pretty soon. Otherwise, the poor, unfortunate, cataleptic gentleman will be stiff with the cold. But let's see what he does do.
Death. I didn't know what to do. It had been less than 6 hours since I saw that chap fall. Maybe he's still there. Maybe if I go back to Duke's Lane, he will still be lying there.
Joe?
Oh, sorry, honey. I didn't want to wake you up.
It's the middle of the night. Where are you going?
I won't be long.
No, Joe, you're not going anywhere. I thought you've been acting strange. Oh, Joe, I know I've nagged and threatened you, but it was only because you were getting so down, so beaten. I love you, Joe. Otherwise, you...
It isn't that at all. All right, Lil, I'll tell you. Then you'll see why I have to go. And so I told her. Told her the whole story of how I robbed a man I thought was dead. A corpse that had no use for the $50 in his wallet. So you see, I've got to find him, or find out where they're taking him. They will think he's dead, Lil.
Oh, Joe, someone will have found him by now. He's probably laying in bed fast asleep. People who have these sort of fits, they recover.
No, they don't. After I found all the Maxsteads I could, I went to the library and I looked it up. Unless they get assistance, they can stay that way for days. By then, they'll bury him, and you know what that makes me? A murderer. I'm letting a man die for $50.
Oh, no, Joe. What if you phone the police station? What if you call the police station and tell them... No, Joe, you can't do that. They'll call you a thief. They'll put you away. Look, I'm getting dressed, and I'm coming with you. Where did you say it was? Duke's Lane? Joe, let's pray he's still there.
It might be worse. He might have died for lack of attention. Let's pray someone saw him and took him to the hospital, and they realized he wasn't dead.
It's a bit nippy this time of the morning, isn't it? You're up late, aren't you?
Yeah, that's right.
There was a little commotion in Duke's Lane a few hours ago, so my friend Phyllis told me something happened in Duke's Lane.
Oh, yes. Just before I came on duty, postman saw a guy lying in the lane here, dropped dead.
Dead?
They're sure he's dead?
Well, so the doctor said. Why? Know anything about it?
No, we don't know anything about it. It was just that we wondered if anyone knew is all.
Oh, well, I believe they've identified him all right. If you nip around to the station, they might be able to tell you.
Oh, I don't think it's anyone we know. Come on, love, it's starting to get cold here just chatting. Let's go to bed.
You two married?
Yes.
You should have been in bed ages ago. Good night. Or rather, good morning.
Let's go to the police station.
No. You'll have to make something up about the wallet. Besides, this policeman doesn't really know.
But Lil...
It's no good, Joe. We're going home. Come on. Some more coffee, Joe?
No, thanks, Lil. Lil, it's no good. We've got to go to the police. We're committing murder. It's 2 days now. I didn't sleep a wink all night last night. Kept having nightmares. Hearing Maxstead's voice pounding in my brain. Pounding in my brain, telling me to save him before it's too late.
You're the only one who can save me, Ailish. They're burying me this afternoon. They're putting me in a coffin and covering me with dirt. If you allow this to happen, you are a murderer, Joe Ailish. A murderer. Do you hear? You will be punished. Punished. Punished.
He kept saying I'll be punished.
You said yourself it's only a nightmare. All right, you don't go, I will. I'll say that I knew, what was his name?
Maxted, Harold Maxted.
I'll say I know him and that he's a cataleptic. That's it. I'll go and... Excuse me?
Lady, you listening? I said, aren't you the young lady I saw down Duke's Lane the other night?
That's right. I'm so glad you're here. You know, we were talking about someone who dropped dead that afternoon. Were you able to identify him?
Yes, we were able to identify him all right. Why?
Oh, he's a cataleptic. He's not really dead, you know.
Oh, don't be funny. I've got the card here. They're burying him this afternoon. He's in the mortuary. Cardiac failure. This is the release for the body, for it to be buried. Signed by the coroner, Dr. Herbert Spencer. He may have been a cataleptic. I don't know about that. But he died of heart failure. Being buried in a pauper's grave at Bethel Cemetery this afternoon. Didn't die of heart failure indeed. Ha! Not dead.
Maybe I'm being a bit silly. Thank you, officer. Goodbye. Sure, he's dead. The death certificate was signed by the police surgeon.
What does the copper know about cataleptics? If the doctor had known he was a cataleptic, I'm gonna stop the burial.
Oh, you can't, Joe. You can't. Once you tell the police about the wallet, where are you going, Joe?
I don't know. To get drunk. I don't know anything anymore. Even my glass of beer went sour in my mouth. I bought it with blood money. The blood of Harold Maxted. I left the pub and walked. They were burying him in a pauper's grave, were they? I didn't ask my feet to move towards the cemetery. It seems they didn't belong to me. They were burying him as I got there. A minister, a gravedigger, and an old man. Obviously the caretaker and cop. I wanted to shout, "Don't! Don't put him in that grave! He's not a corpse, he's alive!" I couldn't. I ran from the cemetery as though I was running from the vengeance of Maxted himself. They buried him at last. I saw them do it, in a cheap wooden coffin. Maybe it's a good thing the coffin was a cheap one. Maybe the coffin maker gutted it. Maybe there are holes in it. Maybe the poor swine will be able to breathe. 50 measly bucks, $50 rotten, and I've turned myself into a murderer. I've left you in on it too. They'll say you're part of the conspiracy. What have I done to you? What have I done to us?
Nothing, Joe. All right, so you pinched his wallet when we were both starving. No one can have you up for murder.
That's beside the point now, isn't it, Lil? He's down there struggling for breath, isn't he? He won't be struggling for long. I don't know anything about cataleptics, but you can't be nailed inside a coffin underneath 6 feet of earth long. Look out the window, Lil. It's got dark already.
It's winter, Joe.
I know the grave, Lil. I'm going back.
Joe!
You're not going to stop me, Lil. I'm going back, and I'm going to get him out of that grave. Please, Lil, I've got to.
All right, Joe. I'll come with you.
No, I couldn't bear that. I've got to do this on my own.
Suppose he's too heavy for you. You're not strong, Joe.
It's a pauper's grave, Lil. They didn't take much trouble with him.
Why did a pauper have all that money in his wallet?
That makes it worse, doesn't it? Maybe they couldn't raise his relatives, what with his doctor gone away and everything. Here, Lil, get my hammer out of the drawer. It's got that thing on the end for pulling nails out, and that piece of mirror.
All right. I hope you're right, that you know what you're doing.
It's the only way, Lil. The only way. And here I am. Here I am in it, and it's too late. He's dead, all right.
Yeesh, young man. I wouldn't want to be in your shoes, not for nothing. Just a minute. What did you say this guy's name was?
Maxted, Harold Maxted.
Oh, no, it's not.
Huh?
The bloke's name is Sidney Fraser. Are you sure it's the same bloke?
Positive. I know it's the same bloke. His accusing face follows me around, sleeping and waking.
Well, young man, come and have a look with me. We didn't give them much of a tombstone, these paupers. There you are. Sidney Fraser, born February the 6th, 1920, died December the 5th, 1967.
I've told you everything. They've given him the wrong name.
Well, you'd better tell it to the police, Constable. I'm sorry about this, young man. I warned you, though. I thought it was too, I thought I was too old to take you on my own when you started opening that grave. I ran to the cemetery office and I phoned the police.
Oh, well, it's almost a relief in a way.
All right, what's going on here? Oh, it's you again. Your missus was in the police station this morning with some nonsense about... Huh? Digging up a grave, are you? There's something fishy going on. When I told my sergeant that your wife came in, we were burying someone who was a cataleptic and who's not dead, he nearly strangled me. Said I should have taken full particulars. Said I ought to charge you both with causing a public nuisance. This fella, Sidney Fraser, has had heart trouble for years. Sometimes an ordinary hospital had the pleasure of his company. More often than not, it was a prison hospital. Our police sergeant warned him he hadn't long to live. Your wife comes in with a cock and bull story we're burying him alive, as if we didn't know him. Sidney Fraser. In his day, he was the finest pickpocket in this county.
Pickpocket?
Yeah. Why, only the other day we had a complaint from Mr. Maxted that someone had stolen his wallet. Bloke accosted him at a bus stop and started running. From his description, we knew it was Sid.
He picked Max's pocket. He wasn't a cataleptic. He was a pickpocket.
You'd better pull yourself together. Now, what are you doing here, and why is this grave open?
No, it's all right, Constable. Our young friend here got a bit mixed up. I opened the grave to show him he was mistaken.
Well, then why did you ring the police and say there was a suspicious character lurking in the cemetery?
Well, it seems I was mistaken. That's all, officer. In fact, we were both mistaken. Weren't we, young man? Pickpockets, cataleptics. Oh, well. Someone should have told Joe Eilish that lifting wallets off cataleptic gentlemen is a most grave offense. In fact, it's likely to incur a most stiff penalty. Thank you for joining us at the Creaking Door. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. Round of applause.
You're all under arrest.
Well, that was a ton of fun, wasn't it? The Creaking Door. So much fun. Well, that ended right on time. We wanted to do around 30 to 40 minutes. So, hey, thank you, everybody, for joining us out there. If you've been watching this, and if you're watching us after the fact, thanks for watching. Thanks for joining in. And some final words. Atticus, what do you want to say to our fans?
Oh, thank you, everyone, for coming. I hope you enjoyed the show. I hope we can do more of this. And I love you.
The sincerity. And Graham, what about you?
I hope everybody's doing okay in the isolation. This was really great for me to have a chance to perform, because the isolation is making everyone a little squirrely. So hope everybody's hanging in there.
Yeah, absolutely. And Nicole, the soon-to-be fully recovered Nicole Goodnight.
Ideally. Thank you all for coming. This has been fantastic. This is just what I needed, having been cooped up for an undetermined amount of time. I do actually love you all, so thank you so much. This really means a lot to be able to do this. So it's because of you guys that we are able to do this, and it really is just something amazing. So thank you.
Mm-hmm. Get better soon.
Thanks.
And the unseen Brandon Boone. Thank you for your music, Brandon. Any last words?
I hope everything came through all right, and I hope everyone's doing okay out there. And, hopefully we'll do more of these, and, just the future of these things will be pretty cool until all this gets sorted out, I suppose. Oh, and I
That's
love
right.
you too, Atticus.
Finally.
Indeed. And our next story is going to be set in Scotland, and Brandon is going to be playing the bagpipes. So you can look forward to that. Lovely time. Yes, and so on behalf of myself and the whole No Sleep podcast team, we thank you for listening. And as we said, we're going to do more of these, so stay tuned, subscribe. What I got to do what the kids say on their YouTube channels. You're going to smash that subscribe button, turn on notifications. Right on, brother.
Right on,
Thanks
brother.
for
Is
hanging in
definitely
there.
what the kids are saying.
The kids are saying that. All right, we're gonna kill this live stream. So thanks, folks. We love you all. Stay safe, stay sleepless, and stay healthy.
Inside.
All right, well, and inside, indeed.
Wash your hands.
Wash your
Good night,
hands,
y'all.
Wash 'em up.
Stop touching yourself. I mean, touching your face. Good night.